There are two different types of actors in the world. 1 and 2. I'm going to tell you who they are, and you're going to be amazed, and you're going to fit in one of these slots. Are you ready? Stay tuned. Now, both of these types of actors have achievement on their mind. They have that passion and that drive and that motivation, which is a good thing, because without it, you'll sit in one place. However, there's two distinct differences between this type of actor and that type of actor, and I want to tell you. But before I tell you, I'm going to tell you a story about a couple of people that I know that have achieved amazing things in the face of obstacles. Not just small obstacles, huge obstacles. One is an actor in Wisconsin. He just wrote a life script, a biography. He just wrote his life story, and he wants to produce it. He wants to have it on film. He wants to put it on the big screen. It's fantastic. He is a cyclist. He's an athlete. Has a good job. He has so much talent and ability, it just makes my mouth drop. Now, that sounds pretty, oh, that's good, David. That's great. No. He has a brain injury. That's what I said. He has a brain injury that has left him in a state not like you and me, which, we sometimes take for granted. And yet he pushes on. How does a person like that, with all that talent, why don't they just give up? Why don't they just give up? Why don't they just lay on the couch and say, well, I guess that's the way it is. There's another absolutely amazing, talented young lady, and she lives in the UK, United Kingdom. And she has so much intelligence. She has been on stage. She's an international speaker. She has spoken in the UK and the United States of America. And she has so much ability, so much talent, so much heart that it just sometimes it really gets to me right here. She's such an inspiration. And she keeps moving ahead. And she wants to learn. And she wants to grow and attack those obstacles. Push them out of the way as she goes along. Now that too sounds like an amazing person, an amazing performer. However, her obstacle, she had brain surgery a few years ago. She is absolutely extraordinary. I know another actress who is deaf, and yet she teaches, and she knows 4 or 5 different languages. She too is a quite amazing person, and she never gives up. She never gives up. Now these are just 3 people that I've mentioned that have the same talent that you do, the same passion, the same desires of achievement and to get out there and to be who they were meant to be. And yet they have these huge obstacles that in all honesty would lay me flat, and probably you too. So what allows them? What is the secret that they have that we don't, that pushes them forward to that precipice of achievement and fulfillment? What is it? What do they have that you and I don't have? Now, I have a question for you before I tell you. How are you doing in your acting career? How are you doing in your life? Are you a grateful person? Do you wake up and face the world with a smile no matter what is going on? You can find something to be grateful for? You find something to appreciate in your life that pushes you forward into finding auditions and to landing this role and landing that role. And even if you don't land them, even if you go months without the opportunity to be on screen, to be on stage, you don't lose your momentum. Because I tell you what, there are some people that have perfect health, that have a good job, that have a roof over their head, that when they run across simple things, oh, I don't have enough money for my vape today. I don't have enough money for my food, or I have to walk instead of, or I'm out of gas, or I have to take the bus, or shoot, my computer just blew. I got to get another one. Now let's take a moment together and reflect. How does our petty little problems that are mostly created by us, by poor choices, measure up to someone with cancer? I have a student like that. Someone that had brain surgery, someone that's deaf, someone that has heart problems, someone that is a diabetic. And if you are in that one of those positions or something else, my heart goes out to you. But the point of this video is, what are we grateful for? Those people that I mentioned that are extraordinary, do you know why they're extraordinary? Because they are grateful. Something happens and they say, well, I don't have a choice. I have to do this. And they go out and do it, and they become extraordinary. They push over those obstacles. They push through them or go around them, whatever they need to do, and they achieve what they want. They fulfill their dream. Now, the other type of actor, performer, person, says the exact same thing. Well, I don't have a choice. I have to do this. And then they quit. They stop. They feel sorry for themselves, and they have their health and all the amenities that they need. And yet they lick their wounds, and they feel sorry, and they go into their ego, and they think, well, I guess it wasn't for me. It's just too hard. Well, have you looked? Well, no. You haven't looked for any auditions? No. What are you doing? What about the person in the wheelchair that is going for a role in a film, and they push forward and they make it? What about Halle Berry, who was homeless for 6 months or more in New York City, and she had to live in a homeless shelter, taking job after job, trying to find herself after her mother rejected her? Are you a grateful actor, a grateful person? Or are you one of those people that don't see the forest for the trees or the trees for the forest? You don't see what you actually have to be grateful for. That if you did, if you opened your eyes to it, you would be almost in tears, realizing, hey, you know what? I have it good. I don't have this condition, this physical condition. I am not homeless. There is still hope for me. And guess what'll happen? I'll tell you what'll happen. That gratitude, that spirit of appreciation will shine on your face. It'll cause you to smile. It'll cause you to walk straight. It'll cause you to reach out and to actually see what's available to you, because there are hundreds, if not thousands, of opportunities in all directions. All you need to do is take off the blinders, because we don't get what we expect. We get what we focus on. If we focus on the bad, we're going to get bad. If we focus on the good, we're going to get the good. Tony Robbins said it like this: what's wrong is always available, and so is what is right. But David, what about the statistics? What about my family? What about my friends? What if I don't make it? Okay, stop right there. Stop. Okay? Statistics are based upon Google. And if you know anything about Google, do you know what Google stands for? You're going to love this. Google stands for Global Organization of Oriented Group Language of Earth. Let's say that again, okay? Global organization. In other words, it's global. It's an organization, and it's global. That includes everybody. Everybody with an opinion, educated or not, right or wrong, moral or immoral. And guess what? We have a melting pot here of all sorts of opinions and perspectives. What's right, what's wrong, and why, and who, and I don't want to talk about it. And everybody is wonderful, everybody is evil. And the list goes on. So it's a global organization. You throw everything in the soup pot. It doesn't even matter, even the tin can. Oriented Group Language of Earth. Sounds pretty fancy, doesn't it? Not really. Oriented. In other words, it's oriented. It's segmented. Of course it is. It's segmented between countries and states and neighborhoods and towns. Group language? It's all languages. Every single language that exists currently in this world is oriented, and it's a group language of Earth, global Earth. So actually, anything that we look up is a matter of opinion. Whoa. The only thing that stands out is the Bible. That was written by the Word of God, by the mouth of God. That is the ultimate truth. It's not religion, it's ultimate truth. God will always have the last say, because He created the earth. He created everybody and everything that you see, and gave us a free will. And someday He's going to come back and rule with a benevolent hand. However, let's go back to this, because we're here now. Global Organization, Oriented Group, Language of Earth. Whew, that's a lot to say. So let's talk about you for a minute, all right? If you're feeling bad about yourself, admit it. I'm feeling bad about myself. I don't feel good about myself. I don't feel I'm enough, and I don't feel that I'm loved. Okay, good. I'm glad you admitted that. However, that's a lie. You're just not recognizing, you're failing to recognize that you are extraordinary, just like the people I've mentioned in this video. They are extraordinary because they took action and focused away from their obstacle. This has happened to me. I have no choice but to do this. Don't be like the actors and performers that lick their wound and say, you know, I just don't have it in me to do it. Why? Well, because my electric bill needs to be paid. So I can't do this. You ever think of candles? You ever think of flashlights? Honestly. Here's one more story. You've heard of John Travolta, I am sure. Grease and Face Off and all those other wonderful movies. When he first began his journey into this thing called acting, he lived in an apartment in New York City without heat. That's what I said. He lived in an apartment in New York City without heat. New York, if you're not familiar, gets really, really cold, and they get a lot of snow. Now, this is when he was younger, of course. I don't think he could handle it physically and mentally and emotionally now. But my point is, he did what he had to do. Well, I have no choice but to do this, David. And that's what he did. He stuck it out. So let's wrap this up. What are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? Take a look at your hand. Can you see your hand? You're not blind. Can you hear my words? You're not deaf. Can you walk? You're not in a wheelchair. Do you have food? That's excellent. Many people do not. And the list can go on and on and on. I have an idea for you. If you have trouble trying to find what you're grateful for, which we all do at one time or another, get a grateful journal. What is that, David? A grateful journal. You take a notebook. You go to the dollar store and spend $1, and you get the notebook, and you get a pen, and you write down all the things that you're grateful for. And after you write all the things down that you're grateful for, date it and sign it. That gives you accountability. And then each and every day, add to that list. Add to that list. I got up today. You got up yesterday, but add to it. Some people don't get up. Some people die way before their appointed time. What are you grateful for? Make a list. There is no excuse whatsoever, whether you're an actor, a dancer, a singer, a stand-up comedian, a performer, an acting coach, whoever you are. It doesn't matter. What matters is, what are you grateful for? What are you so grateful for that it gives you that juice and that energy, that emotion, energy and motion to direct and lead your dream? Don't follow your dream. Your dream doesn't have any eyes or ears. It doesn't know where it's going. That's a cliche that makes no sense. Follow your dream. No. Your dream needs you. Lead your dream and lead it into areas and lead it with a grateful heart. If you need a coach, I may be the one for you. davidthompsoncoaching.co, davidthompsoncoaching.co. So what are you grateful for? Think about that today. Embrace it. Write it down.